on camera. You did take away all the raisins and rosins because it's monthly. You did a huge refill and then you, okay.
I was offering to,
okay, whatever, yeah.
Take off.
Oh, you really, okay, well, and you moved the it's not like the Chazer. Okay, fine, thank you.
Pasuk 21.
Figured you didn't need more caffeine.
We are on page 15 near the bottom. Ve'ata, and
Where?
you. Munach. You got us, Alan?
We're on 15?
Page 15.
Yeah.
Ve'ata, and you.
What number?
It says
One, right there.
G621, number 1.
Oh, you're starting.
And
You're starting a pasuk, of course. Yeah.
So this is a munach, so it's going to somewhat separate itself out from what was before, and then it's going to tell you what concept gets preservation, moves on from there.
Can I just make a suggestion? Since you are a Bokora and everything, and you're doing this, I think it'd be nice to demarcate when we finish the pasuk, or you want maybe to do the beginning or beginning and end. You actually sing it. We should sing it at the beginning before we know the deeper meaning, and then after you finish, and it would be a nice. It only takes 2 seconds, and then before and after you'd sing the pasuk.
Let's do that.
Okay, good.
V'ata kach lecha mikol ma'achal asher yeachel ve'asafta lecha ve'haya lecha ve'lahem ve'ochla.
Something happened. Wait a minute. That's Kol Machal Asher.
Yeachel. It's on the same page at the top.
Oh, it goes that way. Okay, I didn't know what was happening. Okay, yeah.
The preservation of life will proceed in a natural way by the construction of the ark, and you will be in charge with providing natural sustenance for all the inhabitants, as indicated by the shape of the reading mark. So, before, all of life was sustained by nature and by what things were outside, and from here on in, where's the sustenance? Right. It's going to be Ata. It's going to be you. You're going to be the one who continues. You, Noach, are going to be the one who makes sure that everybody gets what they need.
It's almost like you're God now. You know, you're captain of this ship, of this box. That's the thing. Why he calls it box? Why won't he say ark? He doesn't like the word. He doesn't want to say ark.
Because he made the connection between this teva and Moshe's teva
and the teva of the Kruvim.
Right.
Yeah. They say there's 3 tevas that have saved the world in history.
Kach lecha with a revi'i. So again, this is something that separates itself out in time or space from the things that are around it, and yet it stands alone. And it might have helpers, like the atah that's in front of it. Take for you, kach lecha, whatever will be reasonably required, take for you and keep it stored under your control and supervision, because at some time it may become useful, as denoted by the broad reading of the reading mark. So you're going to take it, you're not sure when, separate out in time or space, so it's going to be in a place that you are under control and you will need it at some point, maybe.
What? What's going to follow?
Whatever you took for yourself you're going to have to separate it out. You, the helper, Atah, you're going to take this thing and you're going to have to keep it separate. That's why it's got a revi'i. Revi'i is separation in time and or space. The food that you're going to take, you are going to separate out in location, and you're going to use it at its appropriate time. So all defined by the revi'i that's on kach lecha.
But if we break it down, we don't know yet what the subject is.
Sunday.
I mean, yeah, tough. We don't know. The subject is really machal, right? That's what he's going to be taking, right? But
yes.
We don't know that yet. I mean, we read ahead of it. Because we're doing it about
no. You see, it can refer. You can't take words so much in isolation.
Right, of
but
course.
certainly conceptually, you're trying to see, does it connect to what's before and after or not.
But according to the munach, it doesn't really connect, right?
Well, you're taking, so you've got to be taking something. So
no, the munach.
It's implied that there's a subject of what you're taking. Mikol ma'achal. So this is a pashta. Pashta emphasizes the word and leads into what's going to go after it. From all food, number 3. Prepare various amounts from all food, which you will discover and bring near the box, as stressed, and bring near the box, not into the box, but near the box, as stressed by the directional shape of the reading mark.
Well, why does he do in the English like equal sign? And he said that take for you and also from all food.
So when you said look at take for you. Then what you're trying to do is you're trying to say kach is the word take.
Right.
So when you have that equal sign, you're saying that, okay, now we're going to define the second word, lecha. Lecha is actually defined as for you.
Right.
So it's got a single dash in between it. So that word lecha has split into 2 English words, but kach and lecha are 2 separate Hebrew words. So now go to the next one.
But they're all meant to be taken together, because that's why there's the makam.
Look at the next one. Mikol ma'achal.
Yeah.
Mikol, that first word, is going to split into from all. So it's got a single dash in between it. Ma'achal, food, is the second Hebrew word. So the equal signs separate out the Hebrew words, and the dashes separate out English definitions of a single Hebrew word.
And also
so the word,
there's one trust.
The word,
that's
why each one is a separate number on a separate line, but those dashes and equal signs are separating out his definition of a word, which might be a multi-word definition. Got the single dashes, and each separate Hebrew word is separated by an equal sign. Take for you, number 2, kachacha. Whatever you will reasonably require, take for you and keep it stored under your control and supervision. Again, we said the Revi'i is him separating it out in time and space, and because it's Noach who's the effector here, he's the one who has control and supervision over it. Mikol ma'achal, from all food, prepare various amounts from all food, which you will discover and bring near the box, as stressed by the directional shape of the reading mark. So he's not necessarily putting the food directly into the ark at the beginning. He's going to stockpile it nearby and bring it in later. I don't know where we've derived that concept yet, but just the word near is sticking out in my mind as something interesting.
Where are you now?
Number 3.
3? Oh yeah, okay. Where's near? Near the box. Okay.
The pashta looks forward into a zakef katon, but asher, the zakef or the shape of a munach, again, is going to separate out from things that are before and then tell you what continues. That, number 4. Even so, that at present many things do not appeal to you and seem useless for the ark, they may find a later application and be an asset, as shown by the shape of the mark. So he's saying the things that you look at them and you say, I don't need that, you might need them later. Even though you thought that you were separating that thing out, if it ends up near the ark, you better put it on because you might need it.
Well, that's the near part that you didn't know what it was at first.
Ye achel, number 5, at the top of the second column, would be eaten. So here you see you got 2 dashes because he's got one Hebrew word that's turning into 3 English words.
Well, that's always the case with English and Hebrew.
Okay, but whatever. And you shall gather has 4 words that are turned into.
Like in the art scroll, for every 1 page in the Aramaic Hebrew, it could be 8 pages. Just shows you, and it's so true because in Gemara most of the words are missing even because it's all implied and understood. So.
Yeachel with a katon.
Yeachel is what tense of the verb?
Will be eaten.
No, so it's passive. It's one of the 3 on the other side. No, it's future.
Future.
It's not nifal. It's sure. Yeah, maybe it might be nifal.
Yeah.
On that side, there's Nifal, Hofal. No, I think it's Hofal. Hifil, Hofal. No, it's not Hifil. No. Yes, okay. And what's the other one? Pual. It's not Pual. Okay. Okay. But it's one of the three on that side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The three passive.
Would be eaten. Number 5. In a situation of need, et hadchak, everything edible would be eaten if nothing else was available, as pointed out by the bipartite shape of the reading mark. So remember, the katon is the two dots that are on top of each other. So he's saying that, you've got the things that you would prefer to eat and the things that you wouldn't prefer to eat but are still edible. You're going to eat those preferred to eat things first. The top dot,
talking about human food now for the
Yeh
people?
achel, would be eaten by either the people or the animals. We don't know. So you're going to start with the preferred food, but you better have all the other stuff there, because at some point it might come useful as food as well.
So have we ventured into kosher, not kosher?
Not yet.
No, okay, so what would be?
So we're
Have we ventured
don't
into
forget
refrigeration?
everything's eating plants. We're talking about the desirable vegetables and the not so desirable vegetables.
Eat your vegetables.
So
That's
you're
where it
like
started.
Brussels sprouts is the not so desirable, and
Well, maybe in those days.
broccoli is the...
Or your straw, your grass.
There's so many questions about how do they keep everything fresh for a year's supply of food with no refrigeration, and the whole thing is. I mean, also, if you actually build an ark for every species, we know the dimensions of the ark. There's no way that all those animals could have fit in, even if it's just 2 giraffes and 2 elephants already used. How big was the ark?
Oh,
You had the hippopot.
there's
2
National
hippos,
Geographic
2
shows on that. You can watch.
2 rhinos, and 2 elephants are already the dimensions of the ark.
They did need a 3,000 square foot house, or they're going to step up to
What I'm saying, and the animals are probably bigger than they are now.
One can argue that it's the same as the base of Mikdash, right?
But it was a miracle that somehow.
No,
the Kodesh Kodeshim, that even with the bars.
when they're with it,
there's no physical.
Everybody stands straight. Everybody could be recording and stuff.
Right.
Lots of room.
It's like in the Babbage, when the Rebbe came in, all of a sudden there was room. I mean, until then it was all crowded, and he would come in and they say they could make a whole path for him.
Okay.
And there was,
Moving on.
And you shall gather. Tipcha, number 6. So again, this is a backwards looking note. It's going to bring the concept of what happened before it.
Which is classic in the Asepta. You gather. No, the fact that it's on the word Asepta, that doesn't always happen. But in this case, it's even more so. Yeah.
By your acquired wisdom, you shall select and you shall gather proper quantities and qualities of nutrients, even if you do not know exactly the amount and the kinds of the required food for all the occupants of the ark, as referred backwards by the directional shape of the reading mark. So what he's going to gather is going to be what he's going to. So what he takes, the food that would be eaten, and what he's going to gather, he's going to look back at all of that stuff, and it's going to end up being sufficient. What he's going to gather is going to make what is needed to be eaten.
To me, there's a bigger miracle than Hanukkah. Hanukkah, a big deal. Last 8 days, one little cruise of oil. Whatever he took, it's going to be enough for a year. That's you know.
But the whole point is he didn't know how long it was going to last. So I think that's the upshot point.
Oh, you mean he didn't know in advance it was going to be a year rain?
How did he know?
It never said that it's going to be a year.
Why would he send that?
There's no forewarning of how long it's
So
going
then
to be.
So then for sure, so how did he know how much to take? Oh, that's what he said.
That's the whole point.
He's saying everything.
Whatever you take will be enough. Yeah.
Everything that's piled there, take it, because you don't know what you're going to need
You
later
know,
on.
it's like when they didn't know when they had to move.
And even if you've got the good quality stuff and the bad quality stuff, you still might need it. With that katon. Elecha, to you, with an etnachta on it. So again, this is something that is stabilizing a concept and possibly looking up from above. With the etnachta, elecha, bring it to you and place it next to the box where you will be able to watch it constantly and prevent any spoilage. Was suggested by the stabilizing shape of the reading mark.
How are you going to prevent spoilage? By looking at it?
He's gonna watch
You
it.
have to watch over it.
He might not let the rain get on. He might cover it so the rain doesn't get on top of it.
So it airs
He's
the
gonna make sure.
moldy-
It's in a closed ark. There's no rain
He's not going into the ark yet. He's piling
Oh,
it
he's
next to
getting
the
it ready
ark.
to go to the
Don't forget, he's just getting all the stuff and leaving it there ready.
It's called packaging
But
for your
it
community.
is going to be preserved. How do we know it's going to be preserved? Because it comes to him, and he's going to preserve it with an etnachta. It's going to be preserved, and it's going to be used later. V'haya lecha mercha tevir v'haya number. So mercha looks forward to what's gonna go after it, but doesn't exclude the stuff that was there before. And it will be number 8. The preparation of foodstuffs is a physical function of the laws of nature, and it will be applied there a hidden component. It will be an individual blessing that whatever you prepare will be proper and sufficient in preventing starvation or shortages, as expressed by the directional shape of the reading mark. This is going so again mercha folds in everything that's before and specifically is going to lead to what's going to go ahead of it. We're saying all this stuff that you've gathered together is going to be there. It's going to be blessed that it is sufficient. And he makes a side note, NB. This seems to be an answer to Noach's uncertainty about the quality and quantity of supplies that he has to gather. So, v'haya, and it's going to be. Noach was going to ask, is that enough? Is that the right stuff? I don't know how to feed a giraffe. How much it eats a day. V'haya, and it's going to be. So we're saying that Noach is getting answers to all of his questions on a word-by-word basis. Lecha.
It's like Jeffrey. We know from the answer what the implied question was. It's like a Rashi style, you know.
For you.
We don't hear Noach asking these questions, but by the answer we know that what the question must have been.
For you,
Did you
severe.
shoot? What did you do? No, but, am I not part of this group? No, I'm serious. We never laid the ground rules. It's supposed to be. I'm not talking off topic. Okay, I don't know if I
We're
can
fine,
do it.
Alan. Don't worry.
But tell her. Lower your voice, you're saying.
Less than 100 decibels we get.
I'm a lot less good. I couldn't be heard at home over my parents.
Lecha for you with the tavir. Tavir again is something that is sheltering something within it.
Where's the Tibir under the Chah?
Yeah.
Lecha, number 9.
Remember, there are old people here who can't see.
There will be no shortage of anything for you, nor for your families, as specified by the shape of the reading mark. So, not only v'haya, that there's going to be enough for the animals, but lecha, you're going to be sheltered, you're going to have enough as well. So there's going to be enough not only for the animals, but for the humans. So, lecha, for what's for you, is going to be preserved. How do we know it's going to be preserved, that there's going to be enough for you? Because there's a tavir.
I'm sorry, going back to the...
Tavir is the shell on the outside with the dot on the
See,
inside.
I can't see that. Yeah, it's very hard.
Vilahem tipcha. Tipcha is a backwards looking note, rolls in the previous concept. And for them, number 10, there will be enough for the people and for them, all who will be with you in the box. Everything will be adequate and sufficient, as is illustrated by the reverse direction of the reading mark. So, not only is it going to be enough to shelter lecha, the people, but vilahem, it's going to shelter the animals. They're going to have sufficiency as well. Even if Noach doesn't know exactly what he's supposed to bring, it's going to suffice. Le'ochla, for eating with a sof pasuk. Additionally, the foods will retain the fresh taste and everything will be palatable for eating. So it's not just going to be for sustenance. It's just not going to be enough to just keep you alive. It's going to be edible quality. Le'ochla. It's going to be good enough to eat.
It doesn't say the ta'amah, like, okay, that's added. It'll help when we know. How are you going to find out what the names are, what they mean, like the deeper meanings? Where are you going to go for that?
I've asked somebody to research for me, and hopefully he'll get back to me.
Because that'll get, like for instance, I was just thinking when you said like a tipcha is a backwards. I mean,
but again, we're defining that by the shape and
right.
placement of the notes, by the cantillation of the notes, by the way that they're sung, and by the grouping of the notes.
Right,
And
but
that again is unique to this sefer. The only thing that is common is the way that they're sung and the way that they separate and phrase things out.
And the names, and, right.
But
all I'm saying is that
so the names are not common between Ashkenazim and Sephardim, and
they-
they're not
what do you
common.
mean?
They're not common amongst.
Sephardim don't call it Kadma Vazla, Kadma Vazla?
Some of the notes have the same name. Some of them have different names.
So give me an example. I never heard that before.
I will bring my tikkun with me.
They have different names.
They have different
for the
names.
same note, really? I
Yes.
didn't realize that. Okay. Oh, so that. Oh, that's. No, that would be interesting to compare Ashkenaz and Sephardi, because what they're. Are the names based on the shape? Are they based on
Segol,
what
I
they
think,
do
is a
more?
saluk. It's
Okay, but that's the same. That's just a different. Probably say
It's
so.
that.
No, but I'm saying in Arabic or whatever, saluk means segol. I mean that. Okay. I think it's just the equivalent of it in a different language. You know what I mean? But no, because it'd be interesting. Like, for instance, what you said, like when you're saying a tipcha, once we know what tipcha means, like if I just didn't know the names and I didn't read the Perush and I just saw that note, a tipcha, how would I know that that's a backwards? It could also look like it's, like a plank going up towards. I'm saying it's not necessarily maybe. You know what I mean?
Where you start, where you end. Yeah, when
I'm
start
saying,
the top word to the bottom.
you said it's backwards looking, a tipcha. But I could see, if I just saw tipcha and said, describe the shape of this note, I wouldn't necessarily see it as a backward thing. I could say, oh, it almost looks like it's leading up to something. Like, look at the shape of tipcha. I'm just using that as an example.
But but you have to use it in its phraseology, and you have to realize we're reading Hebrew.
Right.
So
No, but from the actual shape of the tipcha, right? How do you know that's a back?
Sure, we start from here and we go there. So it's going.
No, it's going up. It's not necessarily.
It's folding in what's come from before. It's folding in what's come from before. Breshit, there's something before. Even though it's the beginning, it's implying that there's something before.
But I'm saying Atikha on its own. Atikha I see as like a closed
Like
brackets.
I said, Breshit, bara Elokim, it's a tipcha. Tells us that there was something before, in fact, the creation. Right?
God, in other words, yeah. Oh, so you go, and that would fit in. How you understand the word is the first time it's used. So that's going to be significant. Also, probably the first time these notes were used, like you said, it was our first Gershayim or something.
Yeah.
That sort of sets the tone for all of them. But I'm saying, but if we didn't have it under that Bereshit, just by the actual shape, it's not necessarily a backward motion. Let's say. I mean,
by the shape like and the fact that you're reading from this side to that side, it does.
No, the opposite. The fact that you're reading Hebrew going this way, right to left.
You're folding in what's coming from here and going on.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, okay, you're reading from here, you're going up. It almost looks like.
So, Mistama, you can, if there's two sides to it, you can look at it from both sides.
Right.
You're saying it starts, it
I'm
folds.
saying it could be.
So I'm
saying once we know the words, once we know the names, then maybe Timcha means a tefach, or that would even strengthen that it's a backwards thing. I'm saying the names will give us more insight.
Okay,
into
so we don't have that yet.
Yeah, okay, No, I'm not saying anything. Yeah, okay. That's something to look forward to because I think it will even deepen. Like we know Kanmaz.
Looking forward.
We have another tipcha to look forward to, or to look back upon.
You just said it was backwards, right? Okay.
And he did. Vaya'as with a tipcha.
Wait a minute, where are we now?
We are on page 16.
But I thought speaking of good memories, didn't we agree that you're going to read the pasuk?
Sing it, yeah.
But you didn't. That's why I didn't know we're on a new pasuk. No, because now it's going to reach. Now that we know all what after you've explained it.
Okay.
Now you're going to.
He's going to do it.
Well, I love that was a very good suggestion.
Vayas.
No. You have to sing the pasuk that we just did. You're singing every pasuk twice. No, before and after. Before we know the deeper meaning and after we know the deeper. To give it a real.
Don't know the rules.
Ve'ata kach lecha mikol ma'achal asher yeachel v'asafta elecha v'haya lecha v'lahem leochla.
Which was the Tavir there? Lecha?
Mercha Tavir v'haya lecha.
I don't want to do Tavir. My Tavir is more Vayalecha. You don't do Tavir like that. It's more pronounced.
Tavir.
When you do with a darga.
Darga Tavir.
It's a short. I used to do it longer. You heard mine too, but darga Tavir. I like it.
I did release it.
Yeah. More pronounced. No, because it was him. I almost didn't know it was a
Now sing the
Tavir.
next one.
Yeah. Okay, now we're singing the new one.
Vayas Noach kechol asher tziva oto Elokim ken asa.
What did you say?
Interesting.
What?
So, like you.
We don't.
can't say God.
Yeah, okay.
Although for learning we can.
For learning we can,
For
but-
learning we can.
Okay.
You know what happens? You did it.
For the
So
tape,
many
we
kids, they
don't
learn
want.
their bar mitzvah, they're afraid to say it, and then on the real thing, they actually say Hashem or Elohim,
Yeah.
which is a danger. That's what for chinuch you're allowed. We're not saying it in vain, we're
Okay.
he wrote it.
Vayas,
He didn't
and
write
he
Elohim,
did.
that
Number
you can't
one.
throw it away. You don't want to throw it away.
After Noach received assurance with regard to his preparation of food and supplies, his courage was boosted, and he did apply all his efforts to make his task complete, as referred backwards by the directional shape of the reading mark. So Vayas is going to take us back to all of those preparations that we talked about in the previous pasuk, and once he's had all those preparations and all of his questions answered, as we see from our word-by-word definition of the previous sentence, Noach Vayas, he did. And we get a side note. Rashi in the name of the Gemara relates Vayas to the workmanship of building the box, but this did not create for Noach problems or doubts as the food did. Therefore, the Masorah refers Vayas to Leochla via the reading mark. And Noach tried to provide some placement for the food in the ark and protect it from rain and spoilage.
Answers to your question.
Yeah. But yes, but see, Vayaz is only in the Torah, like, in modern Hebrew you wouldn't say Vayaz, you'd say V'hu Asa, right? Vayaz is specifically a Torah, like, when I first went to Israel, my relatives all said, oh, you're talking the Tanakh, or I wouldn't say Vayaz necessarily.
So, if we just want to look in Rashi says Vayas Noach, and Noach did Zebinyana Teva. So it's not the collecting of the food. It's just the building of the ark. So that's specifically what Rashi is referring to.
The Havamina there is that it would refer to Lachla because that was the antecedent.
So I think that's my father's point. He's saying Rashi says it happens to be about the ark. But we see from what we just learned that he didn't have questions about the building of the ark. His question was about the food.
So your father's agreeing with Rashi, or yeah?
No, he's disagreeing with Rashi.
Is he?
If I read it right, in other words, Rashi is relating to the Vayas to specifically about the building of the Teva itself,
right.
About the ark. But the last few psukim, we're looking at the questions that are being answered. Right, like about how much food, how will it last, what kinds of food. It's all about the food. It's all about because to build the box is pretty straightforward. But what I feed a giraffe versus what I feed a hippopotamus, and then how much will be enough, and then how will it be preserved. So his questions seem to be around the food rather than around the building of the ark. So he's making a differentiation from Rashi. Rashi says Vayas points to the ark. My father's arguing Vayas points to the food.
Is that true?
If I read this correctly.
Interesting. I thought your father and Rashi in the same way. Have a debate.
Oh, he fights with Rashi all the time.
A lot of people fight with Rashi, yeah. That's good. The Shem Shemaim.
That's it. Shem Shema.
Yeah.
Noach, number 2, with an etnachta. So again, this is the stabilizing influence that might have some upwards looking aspect to it. Thus, Noach had invested all efforts to bring his work to fruition, as indicated by the stabilizing shape of the reading mark. So Noach, in and of itself, and in and of himself, and of his efforts, became the thing that made the effort stable, made the effort worth able to be completed.
Isn't it funny the way the word has Noach in it? It's funny. And here, like this Noach, what's this? It looks like the word Noach looks like the ark sitting on top of Mount Ararat at the end, when everything.
Sure.
Looks like the tape on.
What's interesting is, to your point of the construct of the pasuk, that the first part is the more lofty and the second was the more lower level details. They asked Noah did it. End of story. No more questions.
Like that definition almost.
Yeah. In other words, that just says it all. God gave all the commandments, and Noah did it. Period. Which is the more lofty. Instead of digging over details, I gave more food, made something. God put. But Torah gives evidence. They asked Noah. He did it. Done.
But he still still did ask questions. Like, it's not like he just did it.
No, but Seder. But the point is, it's as if the Torah gives evidence to say Noah did all.